Welcome to the Answers Yes podcast, where we interview some of the most interesting people that have said yes to opportunities in their life. We hope that through these stories, you can learn to create your own destiny by saying yes along the way. Join us as we explore the new series covering topics such as passion, integrity, and hard work. I'm your host, Jim Riley, and I hope you enjoy these interviews as much as I do. I believe that everyone has an important message worth hearing. Hello and welcome to the Answers Yes podcast. Thanks again for tuning in. There's a lot going on right now in my life and in our podcast world. I am throwing these things at you at least 2 a week right now, and I've got a whole bunch more great guests line up. And right now I've got Katie Ann on the line. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Now I'm looking at your Instagram, right? It's Katie Ann Barnett.
That's my Facebook. Yeah. So
Okay.
I hung on to that awesome Italian name on my Facebook, but then on Instagram, it's just the letters KT and with an E Barnett. So it's just all spelled out, Katie Ann Barnett.
Got it. Well, thank you for the clarification. David Meltzer's been a good friend of mine for several years. I work with his team often. And when his team says, hey, I've got somebody to be on your podcast that checks all the boxes, I don't even ask. I just schedule her. Let's do this.
I love it. Yeah, it's an honor to work with them for sure. And it's been, they just keep matching me up with the best people. So I'm so excited to be here.
Great. Well, why don't you give us an idea of some of your background, give my listeners a little bit who you are, where you started, and then we can talk about where you're at now.
Sure thing. So I am a mom of three. They are, oh gosh, I have to remember this. It's getting harder and harder. They're 5, 7, and 9, but don't ask me what years they were born anymore because it's just all a big jumbled mess.
How about months and dates?
Yeah, right. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm going to say. So yeah, 5, 7, and 9. So we've got fun stuff going on there. I don't know where the last 5 years of my life went. But I went to school for health education and got a master's in education thinking I would teach. And so I taught at the high school level and loved teaching teenagers. Mm-hmm. They are so, I mean, I know that in education, it's really funny because people are always like, I can't believe that you teach elementary school. I can't believe you teach junior high. Like everybody falls where they like really, I mean, you hope anyways, where they really belong. And I love ninth graders more than probably any age group on the face of the earth because they're like brand new to like grown up like space, so they like think they're cool, but they're still so young and like malleable. And you can talk to them like adults. So I had so much fun teaching high school and telling them how, not to get STDs and do drugs and all of that. But it wasn't I guess maybe just the educational atmosphere wasn't really enough for me. So the plan was to teach college, but I had babies. And then I was like, nope, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. And in that, I wound up starting my own art business, which I never really considered myself an artist, but I found something that I was good at, started doing art, and that took a lot of time. It was very rewarding in the end, but it was really stressful. And especially as I was growing my family, it got harder and harder. And then I found myself in network marketing on accident, just liked a mop, and wound up really excelling in that business later on. Just about 8 or 9 months ago, I was a top leader there, really active in helping the company kind of grow, but it wasn't really working for me because I needed to work from home and online, and said yes to a huge opportunity. And that's where I've been ever since. And I'm now growing my own personal brand and business and getting to help others in a multitude of ways. And it's just been pretty excellent.
Yeah, very fascinating. When you were young, still under the roof of your parents, were you an entrepreneur then, or did you aspire to be one at that time?
I think the word entrepreneur really overwhelmed and scared me for a long time. I had a lot of deep respect for people who were entrepreneurs and who called themselves entrepreneurs. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like one of my uncles created the polyurethane wheel for skateboards.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good invention.
And the dude was like an entrepreneur at his core. And he has like a like a football team of sons who have all followed in his footsteps. And I remember just kind of looking at that and seeing that as this like apex of entrepreneurship. And it seemed so far away from me. And so to find myself in that space now, almost naturally, but not, because I work for it, is really, it's exceptional and it's exciting. But no, I really wanted to be a radio talk show host when I was under my parents. I just wanted to talk. So I get to do that too.
Well, I'm gonna introduce you to my wife because she just wants to talk.
I love it.
You know what's great about your story? My wife is also a mother of a 5 and 7 year old, both girls. So we only have 2. Not going to do the 3 thing. I think we're right where we need to be. But you know what's interesting about you, as well as what I've seen in her, is moms that find this, I'm going to call it an entrepreneurial spirit, or desire to do something a little bit more. And I don't know if it's filling a gap or if you just realize, hey, I'm capable of more. I've got this mom thing down. She started an apparel company called Liberty or Lose Apparel, and she's doing fantastic with it. And here you are, you went into, network marketing, all this other stuff. So what was it? What clicked in your mom days to go, hey, I can do that?
This is like, I feel like it's a touchy subject, but it's one that needs to be talked about a lot more. And I think that it's why so many women kind of in my demographic right now relate to me, is because we, as horrible as it sounds, because I know that being a mother and wife and, running a family and a household is so important and it's so incredible in and of itself, but we really do give ourselves to that. And we start to count ourselves out a lot of times. And we don't have to do that, but it just kind of is one of these things that you slowly, there are so many things. The postpartum, whether people have postpartum depression or not, that first few months of new motherhood is like just such a whirlwind, And so then it slowly just goes into where you're functioning. And I'm just like, I don't know how these women go back to work after 2-3 months and just can slay it. But I think for those of us who are stay-at-home moms, you just get stuck in that, like, things that you got to do and the laundry and all these things. And it makes doing anything for yourself and outside of that space feel almost impossible and overwhelming. And, for me, it was a matter of not really taking anybody's opinion, because everyone's opinion of me starting a business was not great.
Right.
Because it seemed like I was adding too much to my plate. But I said yes to myself, and I said yes to, like, I want to feel, I don't know if I can bring extra money in, but if I could pay, my main goal in the beginning of starting business in general was to be able to pay for our electricity bill, because I didn't want to keep fighting with my husband over the AC or the heater.
I love
that. That was it. And I was like, and I was so excited when I started being able to pay the or make enough money to, make up for our electricity bill. I was like, dude, this is awesome. What else can I do? And it's just really snowballed since then, because I love working, and I didn't know that about myself. Like I've always been great at systems, and I've always done really well in the jobs that I've done. But to find this space where it's like, I get to do this from home and I get to slay, and now it's not paying the electricity bill. It's paying, I could pay all the bills, and put the savings aside and do all of this. And it's like, I can't imagine my life without having the ability to say, like, no, you know what, I'm going to try this and I'm going to see what I can do and make it work. And I homeschooled my kids all last year and kept this business going, and actually switched businesses in the midst of the COVID and all of that. And so it's just, anything is possible. Like, anybody can do anything. And it's not just about women, it's about anybody. I think people just get to a certain age and they're like, well, I can't switch gears, but you can.
You bring up a really good point a couple minutes ago about your time and being a mom. I coach a lot of people that are looking at retirement, or they're in retirement. And one of the things I tell them, like, look, figure out what you want to do, because all of a sudden your schedule is going to be full and you're going to wonder how you even had a job. And I think the same things happen with moms is all of a sudden you're changing diapers, you're doing laundry, you're cleaning the house. It's like, wow, I don't have any time for anything anymore, because you allow that time to be consumed with all these other activities that will actually get done. If you work with Dave, he talks a lot about the white space on your calendar. And I realize, additionally through your story, that there is time as a mom, a stay-at-home mom, to do other things besides just be the mom, but take on hobbies or a business like you've done. So don't fall victim to that schedule.
Absolutely. And I mean, you say take on hobbies, and it's so funny because since this, and really in the last year, since saying yes to this really big leap, that was a scary thing for my family because I had a really great income already and we didn't know really what it was going to look like. But it's been exceptional. But I bought myself a skateboard. I was like, yeah, I'm going to skateboard.
Okay.
That makes sense. I'm 38. I should learn how to skateboard.
And not get hurt.
It's a really cool skateboard, by the way. And then I got a ukulele and I've learned how to play the ukulele. And it was like, I did it. I did it in pretty record timing because I was like, I need to be able to play and sing because my son is a great guitarist, but he only plays like Metallica. And so it's just, you open that door, you say yes to doing something that's going to make you happy. And then it was like, oh, wait, I can do other things too. I can learn new things. I can go take an aerial yoga class if I want to. And it all sounds so silly, but, gosh, it just like, we can still expand our brains. We can still learn things. We can still bring so much value into our lives, no matter what point we're at. And I want more people to do that and really embrace it.
I think it's really important that people do that. And it's a wonderful message. And they do have the ability to schedule their time out so that they can do all these things, right? They just need to give it a chance.
Exactly.
So talk about some of your next steps. You decide to work as a stay-at-home mom and a marketing, I'm sorry, what was the term that you used for that company? Network marketing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got into a network marketing company. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about what you transitioned into?
Well, it was basically your standard network marketing model.
Yeah.
And most are super similar. This one, they all kind of have some differences, but they've been around since the 1950s, and basically same model, same compensation type plan. They all have very, a lot of similarities. And this was a party planning company. And so that's the way that most companies kind of work, is that you have to get a group of people together, and whether that's in your home or I started doing it online. And because it was this new thing that people hadn't really been doing a lot with these companies, it was really attractive to a lot of people, that it was like, okay, if I can do this online and these products are amazing, this is great. And that was kind of the deal. After, 3.5 years, what I found was that it was successful for me. I was making a lot of money. But I also kind of was at a point where I wasn't going to be making a lot more money. I was just trying to continue making the same amount of money. Right. And nobody else was making the money that I was making on my team, and I hated that. Yeah. I wanted to be able to help everybody make a lot of money. And I wanted to know that I could keep growing. So when I found this other company, it was really just by chance. And I had heard of it before. I'd been using the products and I loved the products, which was great, but I wasn't ever going to do network marketing again if I was going to quit, Mm-hmm. And I took a call with someone, Justin Prince, who's incredible on all levels, like no matter what kind of business you're in or whatever. He's just an amazing mentor and life coach for sure. So I took a call with him, and he touched on every single pain point that I was experiencing in network marketing. And so what this company does is they've called it social retail. And it's basically a pivot in the network marketing industry. It's completely different, and it's based on the same kind of sharing that every business is doing right now, because online affiliate codes, it's the way of the world in e-commerce. We've had like this huge, I call it punctuated equilibrium. We got the pandemic, and now it's like people aren't going back to going out and shopping for everything anymore. You know, we will be online shopping